Good morning. Welcome back to This Week in the Mohawk Valley. Jeff Manaski and Kelly Blazowski. Time now, of course, for our CNY travel segment. Good morning, and I'm interested to find out who we have in costume here today.
Good morning.
Kelly.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff. Well, we have someone that many will recognize if you've been to Fort Stanwix. You have probably met and spoken with and learned a lot from William Bill Sawyer. So thanks for being here this morning, Bill.
Oh, very glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Fort Stanwix National Monument, our national park here in central New York. You are a very active, play a very active role with them. Every day, just about in costume as you are. So tell us a little bit about what you're representing and then the event that's coming up. You have an interactive escape room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm dressed as a soldier of the 3rd New York Regiment, particularly a drummer or fifer. The 18th century version of the radio men of the Army of the day might have been dressed at Fort Stanwix in 1778. And as far as the event coming up this Saturday, we have Operation Sabotage Stanwix. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Stanwix. Yeah.
Say that 10 times.
Sabotage Stanwix. Yes. And this was developed for us by a former professor from Syracuse University. And it is an escape room type game, which is loosely based on an actual historic incident that occurred at the fort in 1778.
Yeah, so this is really cool. You'll actually be in one of the rooms in the fort, and this is for groups of people. An individual can sign up to do it. It's more fun with a group, so
Absolutely.
get your family members and friends together. Up to 6 people.
Up to 6 people.
And it takes about a half an hour time, you were saying.
Yeah. From with the briefing in the beginning and the debriefing at the end, about a half hour. The main game itself is about 20 minutes long, and that's you've got to get everything, all the tasks accomplished that you need to within that 20-minute time frame, or else you don't necessarily win the game fully.
Right. And they're not going to tie you to a fence or a post.
Oh no, nothing
you will
like
get out
that.
of the room,
it's
but
just, your cover will be blown. Basically, is what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this like you're locked in a room and there's an escape door or there's a key that you have to find and you have so much time to get out? Explain how this works, and then could you also get into the story of what this is based on?
Unlike the earlier versions of the escape room where the main task was to, by solving the different puzzles, finding the clues to find the key to get yourself out of the room, you're not locked into the room, but because you are representing a British spy or a group of British spies that have snuck into the fort and only has a limited amount of time within this room before the officer that lives in the room comes back.
Okay.
That is why you only have the 20 minutes in order to accomplish this. And you basically, with the help of another British prisoner that is inside the room, helping you out if you start running into trouble trying to figure things out, you have several clues that you have to uncover that are basically going to tell you what sabotages that you were trying to use against the fort that the Americans have figured out and are countering, and what single sabotage is still left that may actually allow you to cause the destruction in the fort that you were hoping to do. So you've got 20 minutes in order to try to figure out what sabotage you can still use to try to destroy the fort before that officer that is in there with the room with the prisoner comes back from his other duties.
And what's the real story? What is this based on?
The real story is based on, we've started calling it the Samuel Geck affair. In the summer of 1778, Samuel Geck, who was an American prisoner of war, captured back in 1777, was basically approached by the British and offered to be allowed to go free with the understanding that he would get himself enlisted in the artillery detachment up at the fort, find out all he could about the type of gun, the ammunition they had there, and then do his best to destroy the cannons and basically lead a mass mutiny out of the fort, and all these men would then go over to the British and form a new group of American loyalists to fight for the British. Luckily for the Americans, Geck and the officer that also agreed to help out in this plot as well began arousing suspicions about what they were doing almost from the very beginning. When Geck was first enlisted, in fact, word was sent up to the fort that, this guy, something about him, he seems really eager to want to know all about the artillery. I would suggest don't actually enlist him in the artillery. If he wants to enlist with the 3rd New York Regiment, fine, but keep an eye on him when he gets up to the fort. There's just something not right with him.
Very interesting.
Very interesting, yeah.
And they knew all along. I'm sorry, go ahead, Kelly.
No, that's what you were saying. Last year, you ran an escape room event, and it was very successful, and you took feedback from participants.
Yes.
And one of them that you said was you accomplished your goal because someone said they had a great time, and you tricked me. I learned something as well.
Exactly.
So just as you're saying, Jeff, it's a great educational tool, a lot of fun. Having fun while you're learning things you had no idea that took place at the fort or in this place in time in history. So very cool way to do it. Now, a little more details. It's completely free of charge.
Completely free of charge. We do not charge for any of our programs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as we said, it takes about a half hour for everything. So you're running these every half hour on the clock. So starting at 10 a.m.
Yep.
And the last escape room group will start at 4 p.m. So you'll be done by 4:30. So then still space available.
And there's still plenty of space available.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so get your kids together. One caveat, children under the age of 14 must be accompanied by an adult.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking to bring, maybe 3 kids with you, you got to have one adult in that group of kids to do this, or 3 or 4 kids, something like that. So up to 6 people at a time.
6 people at a time. Be a little crowded in there otherwise.
Yeah.
And how do you go ahead and sign up and register for this event?
All you have to do is call our visitor center, also known as the Willits Center. That's 338-7730 is the main line, and just tell them that you're interested in signing up for escape room, and they'll just get the information they need from you, and you'll be all set.
Or stop in.
Or you can stop in
the
if you
Willits
want.
Center and
Absolutely.
register. Yeah, absolutely. And it takes place rain or shine.
Takes place rain or shine.
Yeah,
Yep.
so a lot of activity going on. You'll also, that same day on April 23rd, is a national park hashtag InstaMeet is going on for Instagrammers. And this will highlight photos that have been taken throughout the national parks as well. So, because this year is also the Find Your Park campaign. So they're, highly encouraging people to take photos of their national park visits and things like that. So we want people to do that for Fort Stanwix as well.
Yeah.
And submit those. So it is a significant year for Fort Stanwix. Of course,
Absolutely.
It's the centennial celebration of the national parks, but it's also your 40th
anniversary
for the reconstruction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were a park much longer than the actual fort has been there.
The actual fort has been there,
Yeah,
yes.
but this is a significant year for you with the 40th year anniversary. And of course, our travel guide is out, and you're on the cover of that. So we're happy to pay tribute to Fort Stanwix. So sounds like a great weekend. And if you're not able to get into the April 23rd weekends, you have 2 more coming up this year.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
The next one will be July 16th. And then the final one, October 1st.
For
Saturdays as well for the escape room. And again, it'll be the same experience, so you won't have to worry about missing out.
Different story, though?
No.
Different?
In this
You're gonna
case, for
rerun
this
this?
year, it'll be all 3 will be running the same story. If this continues to be very popular, then we've already discussed next year we may have to start looking to developing a new story to
You're going
change
to
it
have
up
to
a
swear
little
people
bit.
to secrecy.
I was
Yes,
going
we
to say, maybe there will be executions if you're caught
who
next
knows?
year.
Yes.
All right, very cool. So it's
Thank you.
Saturday, April 23rd. Give us the number once again if you'd
Yeah.
like to sign up or register.
If you'd like to call to sign up, the number for the Willits Center is 338-7730.
All right, very, very cool. And I love this. Kelly, it is so nice. Sometimes, with all due respect, some people find history to be a little not that exciting. But by incorporating an event like this, it's very interactive and you have a chance to learn and do something fun. Thumbs up on this great idea.
Absolutely. And it appeals to all ages. So
Absolutely.
All age
Yes.
groups. So good luck with it. Have a lot of
Thank
fun.
you.
And thanks for coming in this morning
Glad to
and
do
coming
it.
in costume, Bill.
Certainly. No,
Appreciate
it's second
that.
nature.
Absolutely. Go visit Bill at Fort Stanwix, which is open 7 days a week for you.